Well, hello, Long Hop Cricket podcast listeners, and welcome back to another episode of the Long Hop, the Cricket and the Podcast. Sitting with me as usual, and probably in the future, and has been in the past, is Dave. How you doing, mate?
Good. How are you?
I'm trying my best not to be flat.
Yeah, it's 10 to 2 in the morning.
Well, this is through our own choice, really, isn't it? I would like to say we've been playing on a computer game that I'm a big fan of. A controversial
I
computer
always think
game.
if you use the word computer game, you don't play video games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a PlayStation or Xbox game, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I've been playing PlayStation.
Which one are you?
What do you think about it, mate?
Yeah,
Do you think
decent.
it's controversial or not really?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Oh, fair enough. That means it is. So, mate, do you want to introduce the podcast? What are we covering in this one? With cricket content of some description.
The second one-day international between England and Australia. Somehow we've time travelled to a different, to a different Ashes series, and we're playing Australia again.
I think we
right?
should talk about 3 games in this one quickly.
Yeah, we've got lots of news.
We're gonna do a little bit of news. We're gonna cover the Scottish game, which was just weird, really. The first Australia game and the second Australia game, both of which being ODIs.
But this is a second ODI review.
Yeah, but we're going to get through the first 2 games rather sharpish.
Yeah.
We played Scotland and they beat us.
Anyway, how are things with you before we get into it?
Oh, mate, good.
Has World Cup fever hit?
I really like the World Cup.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it.
You've been losing money. This the only chance where you can watch boring games of football and you don't care.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Because
1-0s don't matter.
But yeah, 0-0s are big. You're like, because it affects the group so much.
I've started gambling again.
We started gambling again.
I stopped.
Yeah, he stopped because he had a problem.
I stopped gambling, not because I had a problem, but I just felt like
you were losing too much money.
My addictive personality would make it a problem.
I don't think you've got an addictive personality.
No, I don't mean to bad things. I'm not really bothered about booze or anything.
No, not yet.
And but the legal stuff, like food,
the legal stuff,
sugar.
Everyone's got an addiction to sugar.
Self-wallowing,
caffeine, the good stuff.
And I think gambling would be up there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't get it. To be honest with you,
it overtakes my life if I get into it.
I don't get it.
So this is just
But I love the World Cup, mate. Before it gets too dark, love the World Cup.
Time to celebrate. This is just a 1 weekend stop off in Gambersville, and then we'll just get on with the
right. Well, it goes on for a month, so this definitely could develop.
Yeah, but I feel
we'll keep you updated on Dave's gambling habits.
I haven't got the app, so I feel like I can't really just run out.
I see what you're saying. Do you think that would be the end of the road if that happened?
Well, yeah, very quickly.
Major problems.
And also, I have to go to the shop to do it.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I can't do that when I'm at work.
No.
Anyway, would you like the news?
Well, yes, I would, mate. Have you got some?
So, Spain 3, Portugal 3.
Cricket news, please.
Sri Lanka delay play in ball tampering row.
Ooh.
So, Sri Lanka have been in the limelight, in the spotlight.
Is this going to become like cycling, where they just find out everyone's doing steroids?
The problem with what's happening now is, if what they do is they say, the match referees say, right, you've been ball tampering.
Yeah.
The first sanction for that is 5 penalty runs to the opposition's team. Right.
What do you mean? So when they catch you doing it,
the game still goes on because the ICC will
surely
continue playing the game.
Doesn't it matter on how severe the ball tampering is? Why didn't that happen with Australia?
It did. So they conceded the 5 penalty runs, but then the captain who has been told or has been accused of cheating has to accept those 5 penalty runs. So you have to say, okay. And as soon as they say, yeah, we'll get on with the game, I accept those 5 penalty runs, they're accepting
That
ball
they're-
tampering.
Yeah, they're accepting that they.
And
cheated.
obviously, that's what happened with Australia.
and then that's the
Australia came
problem.
out and said, "Hey, let's just put this under the rug."
Yeah,
And then it all blew up. And this is what happened with Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka didn't come to the field for quite some time, actually. You know, there was.
so what were they doing to the ball?
It looked like one of the lads had a plaster on his hand. He was using that to rough it up. From the very little footage I've seen.
Right.
They're one of those plasters that runs across all the fingers, not just one of the fingers. And the umpires have said,
Do you think that's going
Stop
to have
doing
much
that.
effect?
well, not as much
Unless
as
you've-
sandpaper.
Unless you've done something to
Yeah,
the plaster.
to the plaster.
But it's not good, is it?
No, so it'll be interesting to see how things.
It will be interesting because it's not going to get as much attention as Australia, is it? It's just not going to.
No,
so
no.
I bet you they don't get the same sanctions, which
Talking-
is a shame. They should.
About Australia, Warner is to play for St. Lucia in Caribbean Premier League T20. The Caribbean Premier League 20 is like a rising competition. It's not one of the biggest, but it's bigger than league cricket in Australia.
Well, they have one, don't they?
yeah, and it's
They
like,
have one, and places don't. So
and that's bigger
I
than
have seen it.
what they've been said that they're going to do. They said they were just going to play league cricket.
Do you think it's right that he's playing?
In a competition like that, I don't mind.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
I don't think he should be playing.
I don't want to play in first class cricket in any sort of. Any respect.
I think he should have a ban from all cricket for a period of time. But anyway,
The England women beat South Africa 2-1 in that series in the ODIs. Let's have a little look through this. Afghanistan lose their test debut versus India in just 2 days.
yeah, but that's not a great first team to have your first test match against, is it?
So
Picking India.
I can tell you now, Afghanistan lost 20 wickets in 1 a day.
Right. So what? India won the toss, chose to bat,
Yeah.
batted for a day and a bit of a morning.
India
and
made
then-
474
it's
with no Kohli.
a big jump in it to Test cricket. It just is. It's the biggest jump, isn't it? I think it's bigger than going from non-international to playing international 2020.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Than the 2020 to ODI.
It's huge.
The jump
yeah.
from ODI cricket to Test match cricket is massive.
So Afghanistan lose after only being able to post 109 in their first innings and 103 in their second. They lose by an innings and 262 runs.
Yeah.
But still a historic day for cricket with Afghanistan
Massive.
playing them maiden
You got to
test.
start somewhere, haven't you? You got to start somewhere. But it's going to take a long time before they compete in the Test arena. But they'll come up against teams they can give a better game than India.
And they'll improve and be able to play the big.
It's such a massively different
bigger
format.
teams.
It's going to take a while.
That's about it for big news for me. Ireland and Scotland seem to be playing each other at the moment. Scotland have played Pakistan, I think, and they lost. Ireland just beat Scotland in a T20. But do you want to move on to the England-Scotland game?
Yeah.
370 plays, 370.
I saw the highlights. The ground was weird.
It was tiny. It was like
It was really small.
I know what, it was like a festival game when counties go and use like an outground.
Yeah.
So like they'll
And the pitch looked like an absolute road, just
Yeah.
rock hard, and the outfield didn't look much different. The grass was like brown, was dying.
I tell you what, that was perfect. A perfect pitch, perfect ground, perfect wicket for one of these one-off games to get people interested in. Fantastic. They couldn't have been better, if you like. 370 plays 370 is incredible in showcasing
Scotland did well.
one-day
didn't they?
cricket. But you don't want to see those kind of wickets every time Scotland plays. You want to see...
If Scotland are good enough, you want to see them compete on a normal ODI cricket ground,
I
think they are.
I think that was fun. It was great that Scotland won. It was one of those games where I didn't, Scotland won. I didn't care.
Yeah.
If that was at, Australia, I would have cared. But Scotland won. Fantastic. Great to see so many people going to go and watch cricket in Scotland.
I'm quite happy that England put an effort into chase a total like that, even on the small ground against Scotland.
The thing is, though, is that I thought what was the most impressive thing was Scotland hit the England boys about.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
That's
incredible.
Without sounding
to that
disrespectful
extent as well.
to any of the Scottish team, but they have no right of scoring 370 against the best ODI team in the world.
Well, you got to. Yeah, I mean, it takes someone to go out and do it, doesn't it?
Obviously, the grounds were tiny, and they were able to do that. But absolutely,
That's
fair
consistent,
enough.
though. That's that you got to have prolonged ball striking for 50 overs to do that, haven't you? It's not one person having a fluke innings. That's a team batting well, even on the pitch and the ground. But yeah, really entertaining. Like you say, for a one-off game in somewhere where cricket isn't massive, that's exactly what you want.
So England
Good to see.
Reply pretty well. Johnny Bairstow makes a really quick 100 straight out the.
Yeah.
The one thing I did want to. I'm not going to go through the scorecard as such, but one thing I did want to comment on was England used to have a team full of finishers, and in the 3 games we've seen, those finishers are not as apparent or not as strong as they used to be. We used to have Morgan.
Owen Morgan's gone missing, isn't he?
We used to have Morgan. Butler's finished today's game. Fair enough. He can finish.
Well, yeah, and he's
Mo and Ali could finish for forever. Ben Stokes could even finish. We don't seem to have. I don't know whether it's because we've been spoiled when we bat all the way down with the likes of Plunkett, Rashid, and Wood now. David Willey. Whether they always think. That's what I thought in the Scotland game. I thought players went out there, like Alex Hales, the way he got out and the way Johnny Bairstow got out, especially Mo and Ali, was that, oh, don't worry, someone will just come down and do it.
Right.
Come down later and do it. Even if it's David Willey, he'll come and do it.
Yeah, that can be a little bit of a problem, but it's one that shouldn't be happening at that level, should it?
What, losing to Scotland?
No, but people shouldn't have that attitude at that level. You should be wanting to prove yourself, not going, well, I'll take this innings off and hopefully someone else does it.
By the way, yeah, it was like Johnny Bairstow scored a blistering 100, right?
And
really quick.
Set a record, wasn't it, for three
consecutive ODI hundreds.
Pretty
but
impressive.
I thought in the way that he got out was kind of, it showcases that idea of someone else will come and do it. I'm just gonna.
Who, Bairstow or Mo?
Yeah, no, Bairstow. I think you get to a blistering 100. England were 100 and at one point they were 100. They brought up the 100 in the 10 overs. Bairstow was rattling along. He got himself to his own 100. And I felt like England were ahead of the game at that point, and quite a bit ahead of the game, that they actually could have knocked it around for the next 5 overs, gone at 6 and 7s, rather than Johnny Bairstow trying to go take teams for 14, 15s. I think you got to play smart cricket. You can't just play guns out. If I get out, someone else will come down and save me. I think you got to play smart cricket at times.
Yeah, the argument against that would be that he gets to 100 striking the ball as sweet as anything. He tries to slow it down, and you just start going into our shell and collapse when we're chasing a massive total. If you're hot, keep going. He was striking the ball so well.
Yeah, but then there's been hot and then there's been ignorant to the fact, because at times it looked like a festival game. It looked like a.
It was a little bit though, wasn't it?
But then
it's a
I don't
one-off
want to be
game.
critical, because I was really pleased with Scotland winning it. I really enjoyed the game. I watched it and there was no malice. There was no. I wasn't disappointed or distraught like when I do watch England and they lose. I do get upset and angry. But I do feel like there was an attitude by the England players of someone else will do it. I do think, it's fair enough. Johnny Bairstow, Mo and Ali, they both made runs. Alex Hales made runs. But someone needs to finish the game off. I'm not saying Johnny Bairstow needed to finish the game off. I'm saying Johnny Bairstow gave his wicket away.
I think we did pretty well there.
Alex Hales, we should have won it. We were in a position to win it a number of times through. I'm
not sure it's the batsman's fault we didn't win that game. The batsmen got us in a position where we could, and maybe they should have. But bowlers shouldn't be going for that much against an unrecognised team like Scotland.
They should.
I mean, maybe they're world class, but
Scotland are a good team, and they were home conditions and whatever, and the day looked good. And it was
You
a
reckon
good
a rock
pitch.
hard pitch and rock hard outfield, Scottish conditions?
Well, what I'm saying is the crowd and
Right.
whatnot. What I would say is
I think it's all good.
the ball, I am worried. Well, not worried, but I am now looking at who's going to finish games. Josh Butler did it today, but I'm looking at now. Cam Moen-Ali he didn't finish. Did exactly the same in the first ODI. Couldn't finish the game. Do you want to move on to that first ODI?
Yeah, we go on to the first ODI.
So England beat Australia in a fairly low-scoring game. What was it, 220, 230? Each, and England kind of, I don't want to say scramble over the line. They do it with plenty of overs intact.
I think...
But the tail-enders had to Plunkett and Willie had to get the winning runs. And they had to put on a bit of a partnership as well to do it.
What makes a best team in the world in pretty much every sport is when it's just like when you need just one thing to go, you just need one extra bit to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And people manage to do it. That's the difference between, that's what makes you the best and other people just short of where you are. So in those low scoring games, we have two people who put together a partnership at the end to win you a game.
Yeah.
Whereas, everything else was the same as the opposition.
Okay,
and you just consistently have someone somewhere who stands up, whether it's a bowler or something.
You think that happens in the ODI team now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair enough statement. I do think if you were to compare it to the Australia game, England bowled a lot better. The spin, Moen-Ali and Adil Rashid was fantastic in that first game. A lot better than they were against Scotland. Australia kind of got themselves out, granted, and different kind of pitch, and obviously the boundary wasn't.
Do you think players have a problem with? Well, I'm not trying to undervalue England winning because I like it, but do you think they have a problem with a series like this to value it?
What, this
apart from it just being their career
versus Australia?
Yeah, apart from it being
if this was
keeping them in the squad and stuff.
If this was any other team, it would be next to zero value. I think.
But you think because it's Australia,
it's
we
got
care.
something. It's just got something a little bit more because I think this is a bit of a weird series. I don't really.
It doesn't make much sense.
Want
does it?
I'd rather even to say two or three ODIs versus Pakistan, and that's it.
I would have rather had the Test series against Pakistan go longer.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, this is an odd. We've 2 games in, 3 games to go. What? Why we played them a few months ago?
Do you think it's because Test cricket's just not doing as well now, so they think we won't fill our summer with Test cricket?
It's got to be some sort of contracting issue, some sort of getting the games in between England versus Australia, some sort of money deal that's happened.
The games must be packed, aren't they?
Whether it was something to do with the tri-series when we played against New Zealand and Australia, in that tri-series England didn't do very well. Oh, we just had a little bit of a technical fault there. Yeah, I've got to agree. I do think there's something odd going on while we'd have these 5 ODIs. But England win the first ODI, bowled well. Again, potentially a problem with the batting.
Winning when you play badly. That's another thing that the best teams do.
I do think Johnny Bairstow got off to a really good start. There were runs later on. I think
Butler's in some form, isn't he?
Yeah, Butler's in good form now.
In some form.
Owen Morgan actually made some runs and he make a 60-odd in that game, which was nice to see because we haven't seen any runs from him as of late. But leaving it to David Willey and Liam Plunkett won't work every time.
No. I really like Plunkett as a lower order ODI batsman.
Yes,
I have confidence in him actually getting some runs when he goes out there.
I have confidence in him clearing the rope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And actually, I think David Willey isn't a bad ODI player. I think with a bat, he's certainly very useful. I'm yet to be convinced
by David Willey.
I watched him play in the last couple of games.
He's like a Jordan for me.
Yeah,
I'm yet to be convinced.
Anyway, do you want to run into the second ODI at Cardiff?
Get into the third one. Who won the toss, mate? Hit me up with who won the toss. Do you think it's that important, the toss in ODI cricket?
Yes.
Why? You want to chase?
No, I don't think you necessarily always want to chase, but I do think you as a team know your strengths and understand your strengths and weaknesses.
So why does the toss make a difference to that?
So if you are somebody who is coming to a pitch like Cardiff, who is known to break up or known to do this, to do that, maybe seeing someone bat first on it is actually a good idea because you're a little bit unsure of your batting or how to play on that kind of pitch. I do think the toss is really important. If it was T20, not so much, but I do think 50 overs is a long time and we're seeing big scores being put out.
But if a pitch is bad to bat on, isn't it just going to get worse to bat on?
In 50, 100 overs? Like, how bad can it get?
I don't know.
It's not going to turn around.
I don't think they make ODI pitches differently anywhere. I think they just churn out the same ones.
I think this one was quick actually. This one looked like. Do you remember when Old Trafford used to have bounce to it? Well, it was actually like an Australian pitch. Australia won the toss, chose the field first. They were unlucky.
There you go.
There.
They want to chase.
Yeah, I think Australia did that because of the overhead conditions.
I think that would be the only factor in an ODI is overhead conditions. Because that would be the only reason that would make you do anything different.
Australia were really unlucky with the even though they won the toss, they were very unlucky with the conditions that they were presented with. They win the toss on what looked to be like quite a dry wicket, and fantastic overhead conditions. Then it starts to rain. They play during the rain, and it just seemed to kill the pitch.
Right.
Made it like a really good pitch to bat on.
Okay.
The overhead conditions didn't really take it into consideration. Didn't do that much. Didn't swing, and Australia found it hard to bowl with a wet ball.
Yeah.
And that wet ball kind of continued through to the whole of the innings. And England probably were blessed with that slight rain break.
Tell you what's weird. The pitch I play on for village cricket, our home pitch, terrible pitch, right? If it rains, it plays really well.
Well, maybe that's what happened in Cardiff.
Why does that... I think it just skids off it.
Stuart Broad said that the rain kissed the ball.
Yeah, because it starts coming onto the bat. Whereas you think it's going to start plugging, but actually it's more pluggy and horrible before the rain.
Yeah, well,
we should actually soak it before we play, but that would look horrific.
Interesting to look at Roy Bairstow-Hales, who must be having a bit of a kind of slog out for this final place, because when Stokes comes back in, Stokes will come in and we'll have to take one of those places.
Do you want them to?
Well,
do you want him to?
Stokes?
Yeah, take one of them.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, Stokes offers you so much.
What's Billings doing in there? Isn't he taking his spot?
No, Billings is taking Morgan's spot, who's injured for this game.
Ah.
So Owen Morgan tweaked his back 20 minutes before coming out to bat, and he wouldn't play in that game. He tweaked back. So Sam Billings comes in for him.
Didn't really take his shot, did he?
Sam Billings is not in the greatest of form recently. I think Sam Billings would probably actually...
He's young though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is young, but I think...
he's got some time.
I think he might be wanted to go out to...
Do a Jennings, give him a bit of time.
Yeah, go back to his county and start scoring runs. But I do think Stokes is important to the ODI squad because it gives you that sixth bowler as well.
Yeah.
And Owen Morgan and Josh Butler seems to want to use sixth bowler as well. Well, he used Root today. And six bowlers means that if someone is getting hit about,
it is.
You've got way more options. Than
it is a stacked ODI side, isn't it?
It's a really good ODI side. Who do you think? Ben Stokes comes back for the next game. Okay, Roy has just scored 120. But let's say this series finishes, right?
Yeah.
We have a test series and then we have an ODI series against India. Who do you drop for Stokes?
It's very difficult.
I'm going to go with
So you're saying Morgan comes in for Butler.
No,
Billings. Sorry, for Billings, sorry. Yeah, comes in for Billings. So
Joe goes up to number 3. Owen Morgan's 4, Butler's 5. You want Bairstow? Well, I want Stokes at 6, but you can have you can keep Hales at 3 if you want.
I think the problem is that Owen Morgan's the captain. I'd quite happily replace Billings with Stokes and not have Owen Morgan in the team.
Yeah,
I think it's stronger.
Yeah.
Just
you
like you say, I think he's done quite a lot with the captaincy. Just part of the reason we're doing.
I think he'll take them into the World Cup and then potentially the World Cup next year. And then once that's finished, if things are still looking similar to what they are, okay, it is a whole year away, then maybe we need to look elsewhere. But I think...
I wouldn't mind Butler being the ODI captain.
No, I think he does it quite well.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of fire in his belly. He seems to be quite a good captain. So
That's what I'd do. But obviously they're going to bring the captain back in. So yeah, I think Hales will lose his...
You think Hales...
Yeah, I think Hales will lose his spot.
Anyway, Jason Roy, 120.
Not bad. It's a strong start, isn't it?
He's a really good ODI player. His form, as of recent, hasn't been... Jason Roy's a weird one.
A bit hot and cold, isn't he?
He is very hot and cold.
He is hot and cold.
He'll score 180 runs in an ODI.
Yeah.
He's probably got... I think he's got 3 or maybe even... He's got 3 scores.
He's not one of those
over
ones
150.
where you put him in the team because he's in form.
Yeah.
So you do better putting him in when he's not, and he might hit a patch whilst he's in there.
Yeah.
He's kind of difficult, which makes it tricky to pick because
he does score big runs at the start in the opening spot, and 120 today. He could have gone on got even more than that. But great catch by Tim Payne, who actually took a slow ball down the leg side. You know when it bounces up.
That's
on the side of the face.
It looked really nasty.
Bairstow, who looks like he's in fantastic form.
Yeah, he's in good form, isn't he?
I hope he takes us through to the red ball cricket, because he looked like he could get 100 and 100 and 100 in the
looks
white ball
very
stuff.
solid.
Alex Hales looks fairly good. Bowled by Richardson today.
I always like Hales in the ODI format.
Yes,
I always like him.
Yeah.
I think he's just a stroke player, but he doesn't go... He's not... it's weird because his technique doesn't quite transfer to Test match cricket.
No.
But he looks like he's playing properly in ODI whilst he plays aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a slogger, but he's not technically perfect as a Test match batsman either. He's sort of in that in-betweeny kind of... It's like his arms are too long, nearly. But I like him as a number 3.
He's looks quite gangly when playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him opening though.
Oh no, yeah.
But I'm quite happy with the...
I think Bairstow's got an average of like 49 in
you can't be dropping Bairstow there at the moment.
Root makes 22, and you look at that top 4, and okay, it helps with Roy making 120, but there's runs from all of them there, and then Butler comes in and makes 91 off 70 balls.
He's in just crazy form.
And Josh Butler, the shots he was playing,
I think that guy is a massive, along with a lot of people, but more than most, a confidence player.
Yeah.
When he's confident, he can literally hit the ball to wherever he wants with any kind of shot. He just hits it all over the place. As soon as he sort of gets down on himself... Do you remember when he was at the Ashes and when we played in England? Yeah, he'd had like 50 balls he'd be on 12. He just can't get out of it.
When we went out, did we go to a subcontinental tour and he played and it was just poor. I think
the best thing for him was for him to not even think he was in contention for the England squad and just go and get his form back.
And that was an example of how an IPL season can have
help to play massively
in all forms of cricket, let alone not just IPL.
It's just confidence building, isn't it? And that's his format to get it back.
And he's Butler's making big scores recently in all formats of the game, and 91 not out, and gets England up to 340 with Billings, Mo, Willie all making 11, 8 and 11. Yeah. It's kind of the Butler and Roy show, really. Bairstow makes runs, but...
a fair play to Plunko. Sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was miles out.
But Butler probably one of the best finishers of the game. And this is what I'm saying, though. Mo and Billings probably... You'd want them to be ran a little bit more, but Butler shows you how to finish the game. Do you remember when Owen Morgan used to do that? Yeah. Owen Morgan would stay there to the very end and score similar runs to what Butler's been doing.
He might come back. It's been a while, though. That's my worry with Owen Morgan, that it's actually been quite a long time now.
In the first ODI, that was his second 15 games.
Right.
So that's like 3 series.
It's been a while now, so hopefully he comes back to it soon.
So England makes 340 for 8. What's the new par, especially on a pitch like that Cardiff pitch? It's got the boundaries straight are pretty short, but good batting lineup.
I think anything over 300's competitive,
Yeah.
and if you go past 350, you're in a strong position.
Yeah, I would say the new par is probably 300.
I think 300, you're in a good position.
Yeah.
You've batted. Par. It's what you want. That's your sort of target. That's 300.
That's your minimum, isn't it? Yeah, I'll take 300.
But if you go past 350, you're in a really strong position. You should be winning the game. You go past 350.
So England make 342 for 8 off their 50 overs, while the 2 Richardson boys pick up 4 wickets between them off their 18 overs. We have Stoinis and Ty. Ty really goes for one. He goes for 2 for 81 off his 9. And Stoinis, a little bit better, 1 for 60 off his 10.
Agar did all right, didn't he? Didn't take a wicket.
I was looking at a lot of stats. Sky been doing a lot of stats about the spin bowling recently. And for a bowler like Agar, who hasn't got... Same with Moeen Ali to a degree.
Right.
You don't have the opportunity for natural variation or, differentiation in their balls,
right?
If you like, because they're generally off spin.
Yeah.
ODI cricket must be pretty difficult for them. You got to think on your feet a lot, haven't you? Really, you got to really think about it. Because Adil Rashid doesn't necessarily have to
took one of the best
spinning.
wickets in ODI cricket.
Adil Rashid.
Yeah,
and he's got lots of variation. He can bowl lots of different balls.
That googly was absolutely beautiful.
I think that it's weird how...
I don't think there's any excuse for not having a variation, whatever you bowl. Learn something.
So how much variation can an off-spin... It can obviously have the one that goes
flight,
back.
pace.
Do you think it's the flight and the drift?
All of that you can change. All of that you can change.
You can have an arm ball as well, can't you?
Yeah, you can bowl. You could have them all round.
Yeah,
bowl like a slingier delivery. You can change where you bowl on the crease. There's no excuse for bowling the same ball over and over again.
I did see a stat that if you look at Adil Rashid's from 2015 onwards,
yeah,
he's got quicker. Every year got quicker.
Right.
He is...
That's interesting, isn't it? Because he was doing his best at the start.
He's bowling shorter.
So as he speeds up, his bowling gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah. He is spinning the ball less.
Right.
But he's bowling more googlies.
Mm.
Probably tells you the state of what a spin
I don't know what
bowler...
the googlies got to do with it, but...
I think it's... If you think... The spin bowler, Shane Warne, for instance, or Shane Warne's always difficult, isn't he? Because he's, got a
just
cricket
a freak.
But a leg spinner in 10 years ago would have pitched it up and got it to spin, and that would have been it. But then, maybe because we play so much T20 and ODI cricket now, a leggy needs to bowl it quicker and then have more variation, have it going different places, as in not just your general leg spin, because, I imagine pitched up leg spin can go the distance if you don't have those variations. Well, maybe Shane Warne or, McGill or whatever leggy you want to talk about, would have relied on just pitching up and getting it to spin.
I think there's some fear to it as well.
Yeah. And I was thinking, we give Adil Rashid a tough time, right? But it's got to be difficult because he's a very good white ball player.
Yeah, I do think people understand leg spin though. You do get some leeway for getting the old cartage as a leggy. People know it's really difficult and it's bottle to bowl it.
Do you think that the general spinner, their game changes the most between red and white ball cricket?
Probably. I don't know. Everyone's bowling changes a lot. Bowling test match cricket, a good area is a good area.
Yeah.
Or is it for a seam bowler? Or you just want consistency? Whereas an ODI, you want to be putting it all over the shop, don't you?
Yeah.
And a spinner, the same again. You want to find your groove and start applying pressure. An ODI, if they know where you're putting it, you're going to go wherever you're putting it.
This stat made me really think. Do you know what? It's going to be very hard for red ball or leg spinners or spinners in general to hone in on their skills if they are really worried about play so much white ball cricket in England now.
Or if they want to play every format, it's difficult. It's very hard to be a good bowler in every format, especially spinners.
One of the reasons we haven't seen a spinner do as well, because if you look at the spinners we have played, a lot of them are white ball players. All right, maybe not so much Jack Leach, but the rest of the spinners we've played, certainly probably white ball. Like Mason Crane did it in the white ball before he did it in the red ball stuff.
What, for England?
For England, yeah, and for Hampshire.
Right. He only played one 2020.
He's played a handful of T20s.
But before he played for the test team, he'd only played one.
No, he played, I think, 2 or 3.
Mm.
And also, we've seen generally a lot of spinners like Moeen Ali, Samit Patel.
Samit Patel?
You know, who's like you think about the spinners we've seen play.
What, for England?
Yeah, Adil Rashid. What was the bold guy? Treadwell. He was a ODI player before that. I think
Treadwell was a bad red ball player.
Do you think maybe somebody like Graham Swan
played ODIs,
who played, would have been brought up pretty much just on red ball cricket, rather than having to cater for all these different formats of the game?
He doesn't really suit the argument, though, does he? Because he bowled really well in ODIs as well.
Yeah, but what I am saying is that he perhaps was of a time where you didn't have to worry about getting carted out of the ground in scores of 350 and being targeted and having all that.
I think he was in the era when that was happening. When it came in, he was in the bit where scores started going up.
Yeah, but
they're not as big as they are now, but they were on the way up. I think they were going.
Those scores were like 275, 280. They weren't 350. I just thought I'd throw it out there because it made me think that actually bowling spin these days
Yardy?
Is really difficult. Yeah, Yardy, white ball player.
Yeah, pink ball player.
Whatever.
Not pink ball.
I'll let him play with the pink ball. He definitely gets to move under lights.
What did he bowl? Does anyone know what that guy bowled? Skidders.
Well, what did Underwood bowl?
Better.
It's similar setup though.
Well,
maybe not so slingy, but fast.
I think Underwood was dangerous because of the uncovered pitches.
Yeah, I think Yardy would have had a field day.
Yardy would have had a field day on uncovered pitches as well.
Anyway, let's have a look at Australia's response to England's 3-4-2 for 8 off 50 overs. Australia bowled out for 304 in just 47.1 overs. But we see a really brilliant innings from Sean Marsh.
Yeah, they faltered in the top order, haven't they?
Well, they've moved
in the top order.
They've brought Short and they've moved Finch down to number 5 to strengthen the middle order. So they've taken down Finch.
Bad way to get out.
Who opened in the first game to number 5 and brought Short in.
I'm a massive fan of Finch, but I think he has to be opening.
He got out pretty ugly in the first ODI against Rashid, didn't he? Scooped, tried to play up and over extra cover, scooped one to about square, just behind square, if you like, gully region. Not the best shot in the world.
I'm a fan of Finch, but he got out badly. I think he has to open. He's such a power player. He plays technically good enough to open the innings, and if that guy gets going, he gives you such a good start.
Maybe they're thinking of him as a finisher, but you got Glenn Maxwell down there.
I think Head's better batting down there than Finch.
Okay, fair enough.
Head originally got in this team from batting in the middle order in 2020s and smashing it around the place.
All right.
So,
Ashton Agar bats above Payne in this game. which is a weird one.
Wow, Payne bats very low down, doesn't he?
I imagine Payne doesn't strike me as a out-and-out striker of the ball, while Ashton Agar, we saw him strike the ball pretty well today. So maybe Payne thinks he's a bit more of a death player, knocking it around, maybe moving it around, finishing the game, or kind of rotating the strike for someone like a Sean Marsh or a Maxwell who's been there for a while.
Payne's he's more timing.
Yeah.
That guy's a stroke player.
Yeah.
Not like Finch, he's just out-and-out power.
But there's not many starts. Sean Marsh, 131. Short and Head, 19 and 21. But
they had a good middle late order.
Maxwell and Agar at one point looked good.
But you need someone else in the top 5
to get 70, 80.
To stay with Marsh. You need someone, isn't it? It's just a 50. It's just a 50 from someone else in that top order.
I think you need a similar innings to what Butler did.
Yeah,
that was the difference, wasn't it? Butler towards the back end of that innings, England win by 38 runs, whatever it is. But maybe perhaps Maxwell should have just stayed there. But
good game.
Sean Marsh, really, really good knock from Sean Marsh.
Yeah.
And a really good game actually. Let's have a look at the bowlers. Willie bowled well, didn't pick up any wickets, but went for 5.71. And that's always a good sign, going under 6 for a score of over 300. Wood actually bowled better than I've seen him bowl in quite some time actually. 1 for 57 off his 9. Got hit towards the back end of his bowling. But Plunkett there, who seems to be back.
He's a beast, isn't he?
4 for 53 off 91. And when Plunkett, that ball that got out Finch, Sean Marsh, the off cutter, was a really good ball actually. After seeing Marsh cart everyone around,
he's a beast. I really like Plunkett. I don't know why he doesn't get more of a chance in the Test match game.
Yeah,
I think he might be a bit injury prone.
And you think perhaps a little bit old to?
I don't know.
I'm not saying he's not fit, but I'm saying can he do 20 overs in a day?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Moeen Ali, who seems to be really good at bowling in ODIs, which is quite amazing, isn't it? Really?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Those figures are perfect.
You watch him bowl, and then you watch Joe Root bowl, and if you didn't know anything, you just knew about cricket, you'd say Joe Root was the off spinner.
Look, the better bowler. Moeen picks up 2 for 47 off his turn, and Rashid, who fair enough to Rashid, he is expensive, but
the googly was incredible.
Was that the googly
to get Agar?
Yeah, to get Agar.
He's bowled it down the leg side to the left-hander. So the left-hander thinks, well, I'm just in no trouble at all, and goes to he's thinking it's going even further down the leg side, so he's just trying to get anything on it. Rips it back. It really turned as well.
And I think Rashid, fair enough to keep at it. He picks up his 3 wickets in the end, 3 for 70 off 8. He did get spanked at one point. But
how much do you think a wicket keeper has to watch the leggy bowl? Just in nets?
He has to be able to pick him, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's got to, surely, isn't he? Butler must have to watch him bowl googly after googly and his standard delivery.
I know this sounds pretty hypocritical. Well, not really hypocritical, but obvious, if you like. If you slow down Adil Rashid and you look at his hands, they are, by, let's say, taking pictures of his hand at release, it's very obvious they don't look the same.
Right.
Balls, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the same when
Googlies don't look the same, though. But
all of his variations, right?
Yeah.
Look completely different. And I suppose if Josh Butler has got a good eye and can learn how to pick him, and I suppose it's probably easier than someone who kind of hides the ball. Like, you know how I know Murley had his double joint.
Yeah.
But
I think one of the things, if you're the wicket keeper, you have... One, you are much more relaxed than the batsman because you don't worry about having to hit it.
Yeah.
And he can more focus.
He's got more time to watch it.
He's got more time, isn't he? But you still have to know it. He still has to know it because if he doesn't, he's not getting that stumping because he's going way down the leg side.
Yeah,
He'd have had to have gone way down the leg to stop that ball.
Yeah,
he obviously does know. He obviously does read
it.
So they must spend time. He must spend time in nets, wicket keeping to him.
I think maybe impressive performance there
Yeah.
from England.
Strong.
Generally looked okay. There was a moment where Agar and Marsh were looking like perhaps they could do something when there was 90 off 50 balls and whatnot. But England kept their nerve and looked really good for the 38 run win. Go 2-0 up in the series. I suppose get these over and done with, and let's see some Test cricket.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I
do like Test cricket.
We'll look to round it up there. Obviously, big day of football tomorrow, and then a bigger day on Monday.
Who's playing tomorrow?
Serbia. This is Costa Rica, I think.
Yeah. It's got to be Serbia, isn't it?
Germany, Mexico.
Germany.
Brazil, Switzerland.
Brazil. But that's what you would say. Almost certainly won't end up like that.
Anyway, we'll leave it off there and speak to you next time England play.
Well, yeah. Do you mean them or me?
A little bit of both.